What we have here is an Acer Aspire 1 netbook. This belonged to my mother, but unfortunately this netbook didn't live a good life, and still trying to restore it. It does come with the original box. Comes with the power cord and a working battery. The only thing that's missing on it is the keyboard. I'll tell you a story about what happened. When we first got this netbook, it was a birthday present for my mom. Back then, when we first bought it, it was well taken care of. And eventually, my youngest sister became interested in using the computer. And she already knows how to use the touchpad, she knows how to tap and click. She's a computer whiz, and she's only 6 years old now. But at the time, she was 5. And ever since we got this thing, she was pretty excited. It wasn't really a birthday present for my mom. It was kind of like a little toy for my sister to play with, because she got the most use out of it. Whenever my mom wanted to use this thing, my youngest sister wanted to use it. And whenever my sister didn't want to use it, my mom wanted to use it, and then my sister would want to use it again because she was using it. So that irritated my mom quite a bit. So eventually, I ended up getting a Dell Latitude XT tablet. And I had my Acer Aspire 5570Z. And I thought, well, since my sister is very young and she is very interested in learning about how to use the computer, and not only does it benefit me because I got a new computer, it also benefits her because I got a new computer, she has a computer to use, and it's also a benefit to my mom because my mom would get so irritated every time my youngest sister wanted to use the computer when she was trying to use it. So I told my youngest sister that I got you a laptop, it's all set up and ready for you to use it. And she was excited, like she was happy. And it's still running to this very day. It's upstairs right now with the battery still working. I'm surprised that the battery still works. And that laptop is a couple years old. So, you know, and I didn't even have to pay for it either. Like, it was basically a rebuilt computer from the 5050 that had a busted power jack and a faulty motherboard. Unfortunately, before I gave my youngest sister that laptop, she was still using this one at the time. She spilt milk on it once. I had to disassemble this computer, and her computer was sitting on the desk, still waiting to be repaired and all set up for her. So I had to tend to this one, clean out the keyboard with hot water and soap. I put it outside, let it sit in the sun for 2 days, threw it back in the computer, turned it on, and it worked fine. The keyboard was all functioning, nothing wrong, and my mom was happy as clam. So after fixing this Acer Aspire 1, I went back to the Acer Aspire 5570Z that was waiting to be set up for my youngest sister. After loading it up with educational software to kid movies to parental controls so she can spend only a certain amount of time on it, it was finally ready. I presented it to her. She was happy. She was all over it. She just wanted it so badly, so I set it down, and the minute I set it down, turned it on, she was on it. So she was excited, like I could just see the happiness in her face, and she was very happy to get her own computer. And this isn't an old Windows 2000 computer or an old Pentium 4. This is a Core 2 Duo computer, or whatever it was. And it's not every day that you give a 5-year-old a computer that is brand new, or practically brand new, but in terrible condition cosmetically. So she got a pretty damn good computer. Now that she's 6 years old, she takes better care of it, but there's another story. There was that one day where her computer had a little issue and I had to take it down here and fix it. And usually whenever she uses the netbook or her computer, sometimes her hands will have something sticky or dirty on them. Whenever she uses the mouse pad or the keyboard, it would form a little dirt mark all the way around it, and there would be a clean spot in the middle. So after when I was done fixing her computer, I brought it back upstairs and she was back to using it again. On that same day, we had guests coming over. One of them asked if they could use the netbook. They open up the lid, take a look at the mouse pad and the keyboard, and they thought, ooh, gross. So they grabbed some paper towel, wet it under water, and just wiped the keyboard and the mouse pad. And they didn't dry it off, they just started typing on it while there's still water in it. After when they were done, close the screen, walk away. After when they went home, I go upstairs, realized I had to check an email. Didn't feel like going downstairs, or 2 flights of stairs to get to my bedroom, so I thought, okay, well, I'll sit here, open up the netbook, and check my emails. So I sit at the table. If I could just try to get the screen open. So I cracked the screen open, and to my amazement, there's water all over this area, the keyboard, and as I tilted the screen back, I could see the keyboard key marks on the screen, and it was all wet and damp. I was like, Mom, do you know who did this? She had no idea. I can't even remember the person who used it, so anyway. So after sitting there for a while thinking, oh my god. So all I could think was, oh my god, who did this? So I grabbed paper towel, dried off any water that was left over, and I tilted the laptop, or the netbook, on its side, and some water drained out onto the table, and I thought, whoever cleaned this thing didn't clean it right. They used a very wet cloth and just wiped it and didn't even dry it. So I tried typing on the keyboard. Some keys worked and the others didn't. And then eventually the other keys stopped working. So I thought, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to disassemble it again, put the keyboard outside, let it sit in the sun for a couple days just to dry. After when I examined it, it looked dry enough, went back to the netbook, and it started to corrode in this area. I dried it, but clearly that didn't help, and it basically corroded this aluminum plate or something. I think it's aluminum. Yeah, it definitely is. So I looked on the bottom of the keyboard, and it was also starting to corrode. I thought, oh dear, this can't be good. I don't know if they dumped salt water on here or what they did, but I guess the water was on here for too long and it pretty much wrecked it. So I put the keyboard back on, connected it, turned on the netbook. None of the keys worked. It wouldn't even respond to a caps lock. The function keys didn't work. The enter key didn't work. Nothing worked. I was devastated because I just fixed it. And for someone to wipe the keyboard with a very wet cloth and totally ruins the keyboard, great. So I looked at my mom and I said, I can't fix it. This time I can't. I said, you're better off buying a new keyboard. And I said, or you could get a used computer. So that's when I made a deal with her. A couple days later, I ended up getting 2 Dell Latitude C640s, and I was only able to make 2 working machines, one for me, one for her. So made a deal with her and said, okay, well, if I make you a working laptop, even though the battery doesn't charge, or you can't really take it around the house and use it on your lap, it will have to stay plugged in somewhere. I said I could do that, and she was happy with that. She said, well, I don't really take the netbook anywhere anyway, so I made her a computer that was perfectly functional, nothing wrong with it, except the battery didn't charge. And it's still working to this very day. Sitting on the table in the dining room, running Windows XP, and hasn't been an issue with it yet. So she's happy. But I'm stuck with this Acer Aspire 1, and I don't know what the hell to do with it. I'm not going to go on eBay, because I don't really do eBay stuff. I don't know much about eBay. I'm kind of a person who likes to get someone to buy the item off of eBay and I'll pay them back. I don't do it though, because I don't want to deal with the shipping arrangements and all that. I prefer to get someone who knows how to do it for me, and I'll just pay them for however much the object costs, however much the item costs, and how much the shipping charges will be. So anyway, for some reason the camera has a weird reaction to the screen. I don't know why. The good thing about this netbook is the battery is perfectly fine. It's at 19% right now, and I have an hour and 33 minutes on it. That's pretty damn good. And the cool thing about this netbook is it actually comes with the box. And it still has the receipt inside, which is unbelievable. And it even has the system restore discs and the user's manual. The power cord's in the dresser. I didn't bring it out, so oops. But since I get an hour and 33 minutes on here, I'll be fine. There was another problem with this machine. The wireless card in it ended up failing, and I had to replace that. Probably because there's water coming in, and I looked at the contacts and they were corroded, so wireless card had to be replaced, which requires you to take the entire casing off. And the card's right underneath this palm rest. Also, the mouse pad isn't working because when the keyboard was on here, all you had to do was press the function key and disable the touchpad. When Windows starts up, I can move the mouse for a split second and then it disables itself, and then I can't do anything. I don't know where the software is. I even checked the BIOS. I can't find any settings to turn the touchpad back on. So I might have to reinstall Windows so it can take out the software and the touchpad will start working again. Because I know it does work. It works for a split second and then stops the minute it loads to the desktop. So anyway, I don't know, it could be in here. No, it's not in here. Damn it. What do I use this netbook for in terms of a missing keyboard? Well, I do have a wireless mouse and a wireless keyboard. It's a classic mouse. I burn DVDs with this machine. I have it hooked up to a monitor pretty much all the time. So it's kind of like a mini portable desktop. I use my SpeedStream wireless router connected to this thing to share the internet with the GX280. Right now, the lights have stopped flashing on it because I unhooked it all. All I had to do was just bridge the connections. I'll show you how I did it. Okay, network and sharing center. Change adapter settings. So all I had to do was highlight the wireless network, which is right here, and the SpeedStream wireless router isn't plugged in, but when it is plugged in, I have to highlight the wireless network connection and the SpeedStream connection, and then I have to right click and bridge them. There's a network bridge right there. I don't think I can use the internet on here when it's connected to a network bridge, because it's basically sending the internet from this machine to the router to the other computer. Oh, what do you know? It actually works. Wow. But if I have the router connected to this machine, and if it's sharing the internet with another computer, then the internet doesn't work on here. But I just got lucky, so... Or, wait a minute. Oh, never mind, okay. So, this computer is good for YouTube. It does work. A little bit slow, but it's probably because of all the stuff that's been downloaded on it. And it's even signed into my account. Cool. Anyway. So, what are the specs? We have a Intel R Atom 1.66 gigahertz processor. The installed memory is 1 gigabyte of RAM, 32-bit operating system, and a 2.0 on the Windows Experience Index. Now, let's check the ratings. Processor is 2.3, memory 4.5, graphics 2.0, gaming graphics is 3.0, and primary hard disk is a 5.4. Not bad. The hard drive on here is a 232 gigabyte hard drive, which is pretty good. Perfect for what I can use it for. There's only two large storage areas in this house for memory. My 1 terabyte external hard drive and my HP Media Center computer, which has a 500 gigabyte Western Digital hard drive. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now, if I'm quickly typing something in on the internet, I just bring up the on-screen keyboard, or if I need my wireless keyboard to type in an email, I'll bring it in here, but since I'm not typing anything, it's not necessary for me. But yeah, the webcam works on here, everything works, minus the keyboard, which is now thrown out. I should have kept it, but I didn't, so... let's take a look in the box. I don't know if I have the software CDs in here. I don't know how I'm going to get the keyboard replaced. I don't know if I can go to Future Shop and pick one up, or if they would find one for me. But here it is, Future Shop 620. It's really faded on here. I can't even see a damn thing. Now the Acer was $269.98, and they also offered us a printer for $59.99. It's a Epson NX510 stylus printer, and I use that for a network storage drive. I have an 8 GB memory card plugged into it, and that allows me to send files from the upstairs computer to the printer, and I can open it from down here. So that's mainly what the printer's used for. The ink cartridges ran out, and they're also expired now. Like this was 2009. So instead of buying new cartridges for it, it's best to buy a cheap new printer and just to use the other one as a network storage drive. Need a part? Call 1-800-663-2275. Huh. I don't know if this is still, what the hell do they call it? I don't know if this is still active or not. I think I could use it. Unless if there's an expiry date or whatever it is. I can't read that. It says date 26 January 2010. Oh. Well, I'll still give them a call. Like, I'll call the 1-800 number and see if I can somehow get a replacement part. Because if I can get a replacement part, that'd be sweet. I don't know if they would do that if my warranty's expired. Here's the Acer Aspire 1 quick guide. It's basically what the keyboard used to look like on it before son of a bitch got destroyed. Pisses me off though. It wasn't my mother's fault. My mother didn't do anything, but just that one person who thought it was a great idea to break someone else's property with no care in the world really pissed me off. Oh, that's our address and information and stuff. Don't want to show that. And we have the user's guide, which is in English on one part, then it's in French, and those are the only two languages. Hard to believe that the pages are kind of yellowing now. They're slightly yellowed. God, I guess this netbook's ancient now to some people. But there's a guy on Kijiji who wants to trade his Acer laptop, which is newer, for a netbook. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a netbook. I said to him that I have a netbook, but it's missing the keyboard. He's like, yeah, I'm not interested. And I said, I understand. I said, I don't think anyone would be interested in a netbook that's missing a keyboard. But yeah, I'll definitely call that number and see if I can somehow manage to get a part. I don't know if it's a warranty type thing or if I'll have to pay for it. But I don't think a keyboard's that expensive. It shouldn't be. As long as I can get it for the right price. It just has to make sense to me. These are the colors that are available for this machine. When they have that yellow sticker on there, that means that's what the color's going to be. I think what they did was they took this floor model, I think they had this on display, and they had an empty box that had a black one in it, and they just put it in this one. That's funny. It even says that the color's black on it. Holy shit. That's messed up. But the manufacture date is 2009. So I don't know if I can do anything about that. I could call Acer up and see if they would be kind enough to send me a keyboard off the assembly line or any spare parts that they have. I don't know. Some companies are friendly if you kind of be positive about their product and say, oh, it's a wonderful product, and oh, why'd my keyboard have to break on me? And they'll probably say, oh, it's okay, we'll send you a free one. Sometimes you can get lucky. But anyway, that is the Acer Spire 1 netbook, and it's just a sad, sad looking computer. I'm hoping I can get it working at some point, but it looks like someone just put sandpaper on it. I remember when this was all clean. Product keys wearing out. Mall numbers wearing out. Better write that down quickly. Or, no, it's on the box, so it's fine. But these stickers are fine. Oh, ever since we've owned this thing, we've lost 3 feet on it. That sucks. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and yeah, till then.